Hello, so today we are going to be talking about my favourite topic, which is Pinterest, and more specifically how to create really good quality engaging pins and graphics to share to your Pinterest account. I'm going to be sharing with you some of my tips for these and also showing you how to create them as well. So hi, if you're new here, my name is Anna. I am a designer and online educator at byrozanna.co.uk, and I share loads of business, marketing, productivity, freelancing, that kind of content here on YouTube. So if you like all of that stuff, don't forget to hit the subscribe button below. So yes, we're talking about Pinterest images today, or pins, because of course this is one of the most important parts of your Pinterest marketing strategy. The whole goal with Pinterest is what you want is for people to be scrolling through the feed, see one of your pins, click on it, and either save it to their account so that they can come back to it later and it builds brand recognition for you, or click through onto your actual website. So for example, me clicking on this pin and clicking through to go to this person's blog here. That should always be your goal with Pinterest. And so what you want is to have pins that really stand out in the crowd and really look good. As you can see, the feed is very busy. You're fighting for attention with a lot of other good quality graphics and images. So you want to make sure that your pin stands out, catches people's attention so that they click on it. And as I say, either save it or click through to your website. So as you can see just by looking at this feed here, you'll notice that most pins are vertical in kind of shape and proportion. There's a couple of landscape or horizontal style images here, but most of the time they are vertical. And Pinterest advises that the optimum kind of shape or sizing ratio for your pins should be a 2:3 ratio. So this is a good example of a pin that follows the 2:3 ratio. So it's kind of, you can imagine it being 2 across and then 3. And this is what most people tend to follow when they are creating pin images. You can of course make your posts longer than that. So some people are using the 16:9 image ratio here because that's what a lot of people use on like Instagram stories and things like that. And if you've got long portfolio work or collages to display, then you can try longer images, and I definitely would recommend experimenting, but typically you'll want to stick to the 2:3 ratio. Another thing you'll probably notice as you scroll through Pinterest on your own account is that pins with text over the top do tend to catch your eye more, and this is what I would recommend you doing even if you have product images to pin to Pinterest. What you can do is go into a graphics editor like Canva, as I'll show you in just a second, and actually add text over the top. Now what this does is catch people's eye, but also the really clever thing is that Pinterest has a search algorithm that is able to read text that is built into images. So even if you save your file as an actual image file, it can actually read the text that's on it, and that can help with your Pinterest SEO and getting your content found. So I've opened up Canva here, and what we can do is click on create a design and then just type in Pinterest, and it will come up with the standard size, so the 2:3 ratio, 1000 pixels by 1500 pixels for a Pinterest pin. We can click on that, and you'll notice that Canva has got some really cool Pinterest templates that you can use as a starting point for your pin graphics. So you could click on one of these and actually click on each element to change the colours and the fonts to fit with your branding, for example. So you could go with that. Or what you can do is upload your product images here and then drag them onto the canvas. And then what you can do is add a text overlay. So if we just add a box here so that we can read the text on top of it. You can then add text that says something like summer dresses or something like that over the top, and then download it or publish it to Pinterest straight away. So even if you are selling a product, I would recommend adding text over at least some of the images that you're pinning, because they will get more engagement typically, but also Pinterest can read the text and that can help with your Pinterest SEO, as I say. It's also really important that if you are building brand recognition, you're adding your branding in here, so your colours, your fonts, but also your logos as well. So I can just upload my logo as an image and then add it up here to the top corner, for example. And that would be me adding my logo to one of these graphics, which is really important for brand recognition and for people to start realizing which pins are yours in the feed and you getting a reputation for a certain kind of content. What's really important to note though is that you shouldn't ever add any details or logos in the bottom right corner, because it might get covered by one of Pinterest's features. So you'll notice on Pinterest, if we click on one of these images, you'll notice there's a little search button. This is their visual search button in the bottom right corner. So if you do end up putting a logo in the bottom right corner or any other elements, that could end up getting covered by Pinterest's little features down there. So I've just come into my analytics on my Pinterest account here, just to show you a really useful place where you can get inspiration for your next pin designs and where you can understand what pins are getting the most engagements. So I'm just going to keep the date range as it's about a month at the moment, so that will show me data from within the last month, and I'm going to just keep it showing all pins that I've pinned rather than just pins from my website, because I want to get an idea of anything that people like. So it could be my pins, it could be other people's pins, and I'm just going to scroll down to the bottom until it says top pins. And I want to filter by engagements. So yours might automatically be on impressions, which shows you which pins performed best in terms of showing up in the feed regularly. But I want to see the top pins in terms of which ones got the most engagement, which ones got clicked on, which ones got saved to people's Pinterest accounts, and which ones got clicked through to my website or other people's websites. So I'm viewing top pins in terms of engagements, and I can see the first two are actually kind of list-based ones, which were giving details about font combinations and also a 30-day challenge. And ones below that were again kind of 30-day challenge type ones. It is January and those tend to go down very well at this time of year. But other than that, we've got this pin, which again, it's got my logo on it. It's all branded with my colours. There's a nice bold text on there that people can read, and nothing is obscuring the bottom corner here. So that one's done really well. So then I'm also going to choose to show only pins that have been created in the last 30 days, just because I know I've got a lot of pins on my account that are really old and they're still performing quite well. So I just want to see what's popular at the moment of things that I have actually pinned at the moment. So I'm going to take a look at the first one, which is this pin, which again, it's got a nice photo background. It's got my branding and my logo on it. Some text overlaid on the top that's nice and bold, and nothing is obscuring the bottom right corner. Again, it's vertical, of course. And again, these are all set up to be designed to have some kind of an image or my branding on there and some bold text, and my website as well, just in case any pins on Pinterest get broken links. So sometimes this can happen where you'll click on a pin on Pinterest and you'll click through to the website and it's totally the wrong website, or the link doesn't work. And sometimes that just happens randomly, and if it does, that's why it can be really useful as well to put your web address or your website on the pin itself as well, so that if people do want to actually find the original piece of content, they can go and do that because they know where it came from, because it says it in the graphic. So other than that, it just can be helpful to scroll through your own feed and maybe even make a list or make a private board of pins that grab your attention and that you like, and then analyze why you liked them. So maybe it's because they're using bolder colors, or they're using like a split layout or lines on their designs and things like that, and test out different designs with your audience as well. If you'd like to learn more about how to use Pinterest for marketing your business and growing your website traffic, getting more email subscribers, getting more customers, then definitely go and check out my course called Grow with Pinterest. I'll leave the link to it below, and you can preview all of the modules and lessons that are included in the course. Literally things about pin SEO, video pins, story pins, publishing, scheduling, using group boards, understanding analytics in more detail. Literally everything is in there. So go and check that out. I will leave a link in the description. And thanks so much for watching this video. I'll be back again next week with some more content.